In a world where everyone and their brother has a podcast, one stands alone. It's been called one of the podcasts of all time. Welcome to Internet Killed the Video Store.
Ben?
Sorry. People don't know fucking boundaries, dude. Sorry.
Oh, shit.
Are you getting texted about mortgages?
Yeah, fucking 8:30 at night, some dude going off on me.
Dang. Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
Going
dude.
off.
This fucking moron. Hope
Fuck
he hears
that
this
guy.
too.
Yeah.
I fucking hate him so much.
I saw something in the notes I was surprised about. Ohio players.
Oh,
Did you circle back on the Black Keys release? Yeah.
Yeah, because we never got to it the one time.
Okay.
I didn't know if you guys listened to it or not.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think just because they popped up in the news because they canceled their arena tour. I don't know if you saw that.
Really?
Yeah. They booked some massive tour and like ticket sales were not there to match it, so
Dang.
they canceled the whole thing. But
That's a bummer.
everybody was kind of like, yeah, why are they doing a giant arena tour for like a garage two-piece rock band? But I don't know. I thought the album, like, there are some songs on there that are like some of my favorite Black Keys songs.
Yeah.
But why did they do the rap stuff?
You didn't like it?
Oh my God, no. That took me out of it so bad.
It maybe felt a bit strange to me that it was like, you know, like the interlude of a song or like the second half of a song.
Yeah.
But they definitely have like a feel for like making hip hop beats.
Rhythm, yeah.
The first one in particular, like the Lil Noid collab.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like the beat is really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. They collaborated with a lot of people on this one. I like that they're leaning into a different sound and like a thicker sound than what they've done. And like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they self-produce all their stuff, and at least when they're not working with like Danger Mouse or someone like that.
Yeah.
And the record sounds huge. It sounds thick, like especially for a two-piece, like you said. And maybe that's the reasoning for like, well, this is like our big album, you know.
Right.
Like, this is our Stadium Rock album.
Right.
Is maybe what they were thinking. I don't know.
Yeah, it has such a cool vibe. Like, that's what bummed me out because the front half of the record, you have like this great 70s, like ELO, T-Rex, like glam rock. This Is Nowhere, that track's fucking great, but I don't know. I felt like the hip hop thing was just so out of place. Like, it just sounded like two different songs jammed together.
It's a fair criticism. I get it.
Yeah. Young Jesus, that was the other one I listened to. The Fool.
Yeah.
That one was fucking great. It was really weird the first time I listened to it just because his voice is so strange. Like, it's like this weird crooning, like, not in the same register, but like almost Tom Waits style.
I was going to say it's like somewhere between Tom Waits and Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, it has like a Springsteen Mellencamp 80s style to it, especially with like the synth on the opening track.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know. At first I kind of listened to it, I was like, okay, this is kind of goofy, but it definitely grew on me. I've listened to that quite a bit. And I like when he says, "This place fucking stinks." That's my favorite line.
There's some standout lines, yeah.
I think that was it for new music.
Ben?
Ben? Is Ben here? Ben had to take a call.
It looks like it.
He's on the clock.
Damn. Yeah, I guess so. Sucks.
Yeah, I'd turn my phone off. Can read some poll results while we rate on Ben.
All right.
He's getting berated by somebody wanting their mortgage done at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Ridiculous. People need to relax.
Let's see. Best Buddy Cop series is Rush Hour, 56% of the vote.
Yeah, all right.
Beverly Hills Cop got 25%.
Wow.
Lethal Weapon got 13. Bad Boys got 6.
Lethal Weapon and Bad Boys, pretty low.
Pretty low. Over half went to Rush Hour. After rewatching Beverly Hills Cop and Bad Boys recently, I think I'd fall in that camp.
When's the last time you saw Rush Hour?
I don't know, but
Do you think it's okay?
Chris
to go back
Tucker,
to?
I mean, I think it holds up, right? He might say some questionable things to Jackie Chan, maybe. But I bet it holds up.
I hope so.
I hope so.
That movie just makes me think of the family room at my parents' house.
Yeah.
Like, just, that is a movie that was on so many times.
That was like the break glass in case of emergency. Like if we were running out of time at the video store, and they're like, just get something.
Just
All
get
right, fuck
Rush
it, get
Hour.
Rush Hour.
Right.
You've seen it a million times, so I don't know what else to get. Get Rush Hour.
Yep. Tried and true.
Which is the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game? 2, the arcade game, got 38%. That's the winner. 31% went to Turtles in Time. 3% went to the Manhattan Project, and 28% said, fuck them turtles. I'm Team Battletoads.
Oh, wow. Battletoads.
Yeah.
Dang.
A lot of Battletoads fans, apparently.
How did you feel about that poll? Where are you sitting with the
I don't
Turtles?
know.
video
I kind of
games?
like all of them.
Yeah.
I like Manhattan Project. I was surprised that only got 3%.
And you also like Battletoads?
I do like Battletoads,
Okay.
even though they're kind of a cheap ripoff of Ninja Turtles, obviously, just judging by the name. What's the best pizza chain? 4% went to Little Caesars. 15% went to Domino's. 35% went to Papa John's. 46% went to Pizza Hut.
Wow.
You agree with that one?
I think my instinct would be Marco's. I think
Yeah.
that's we
I
were
don't
always
think
a
I've ever had
Marco's
that
family.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. The grease pools in the pepperoni cups just right.
I think Pizza Hut's stuffed crust pepperoni pizza is like my death row meal. I would eat that 7 days a week.
Did you ever try the who had the Shaq-a-roni? Was that Papa John's?
It's probably, because he's
Yeah,
got like
'cause
a
Shaq-
ownership
Right.
stake in it, doesn't he?
Right. Well, he's the new Papa.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's the
they
new
fired
Papa.
that one guy.
We need a black spokesman, quick.
Right.
Shaq,
Shit.
what are you doing?
Oh yeah. They got it all figured out.
The Shaq-a-roni.
It was good. We got it a couple times at
Yeah.
D&D games. Also, shout out to Raymundo's in town.
Is that a local
That
one?
was which is not a chain, but
Yeah.
like, oh my god, they field so many 8-hour D&D sessions that we couldn't have pulled off if we didn't have that delicious pizza.
Did you ever try the crazy Pizza Hut Cheez-It collab where it was like a giant Hot Pocket made out of Cheez-It cracker?
No.
So bad.
That was a thing that existed?
Yeah, and I
Didn't-
bought it.
Didn't you send us a picture of that recently?
I sent you the one of the Taco Bell. They did like a Cheez-It Crunch Wrap, I think is what
That
they're
was
doing
real?
now. Yeah,
and
that's
it's just a giant Cheez-It.
in your Crunch Wrap, I think. Yeah, my sister says it's great. She loves it. And I was like, you're so dumb, but I got the Pizza Hut one, so I can't say anything.
The only thing I've seen that I was like, I think a little bit repulsed by, what was the KFC sandwich that was actually just chicken for a
Pieces
bun?
of chicken.
The
for
double
bun.
down
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Double decker or something. I don't. That was pretty legendary.
Oh man, you ever try one of those?
I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty gross. Now we're in Ben's wheelhouse. Ben's
Yeah.
back just in time. Did you ever
Ben-
try a KFC double down?
Sorry, guys. Yeah, Josh T was super into him.
Yeah. Is it like his regular order?
I just remember him being like, "You want to go get a double down? Double down?" He wouldn't stop bringing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was into double downs.
Do you guys ever have Taco John's?
No.
No, dude.
I don't know if it's a chain. It looks like a chain in my mind.
Taco John's.
Yeah, it was just some restaurant I remember eating at, like after a show. We made up a song about it, and
Do you remember any of it? Can you sing us a bar?
Taco John's. I'm eating a taco at John's house.
That's
the whole
not
song.
it.
That's the whole song.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that was what we
What?
would always sing. I could bring like any one of my 8 close friends in here right now, and they would sing
They
that
would finish it.
verbatim. Yeah.
Is the guy being civil with you, Ben? You look really distraught.
No, he's a fucking douchebag. He
Let's do the Posi Purge then. Get you positive.
Yeah.
What are you thankful for? Oh, God. It's been our...
We're doing that.
Yeah. Do you want to? We don't have to.
I mean,
customers that aren't
I-
dickheads.
I don't. It's not that I don't want to. It's like
Do you not have anything positive?
I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot.
That's the bad thing. We can't ditch the Posi Purge the first year because we don't have
honestly,
enough.
It's been a year.
It's
When
been a
was
year
the last
since-
time we did the Posi Purge?
I think last June, yeah.
No.
I think so.
It feels like we did it like 2 months ago.
No, that was the airing of grievances. That was all the negative stuff. And now we're going to do the positive one. And we're like, I don't got it in me.
Wow.
Pizza Hut. Stuffed crust pizza.
Oh, I just
That's my
got
good one.
that not too long ago.
So good.
It is so good.
I love it. Favorite pizza chain? That was a poll question earlier. Pizza Hut
Yeah,
won
okay.
out 46%.
46?
Yep.
I agree.
That's your favorite?
If I had to like live with one for the rest of my life.
The big chains, yeah.
Right. I'd probably say that.
Yeah.
Because the stuffed crust, honestly, is so good.
It is good.
Their thin crust cheese, if you want a thin crust, is pretty fire.
Yeah.
I do like a good thin crust. I'm starting to go more thin crust.
Thin crust guy, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Papa John's. Like, I think their stuff's good.
Yeah.
But, again, every pizza, like, for the rest of my life, I had to choose one, it'd be Pizza Hut.
How you feel about Marco's?
It's been a minute.
Okay.
I got the other night, they showed the Domino's commercial where they had the New York style pizza.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fuck, New York style pizza. That sounds good. Bought it. Had it delivered. Sbarro's better.
I do like Sbarro's. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Sbarro's is good.
It's really good.
Their New York style is not. It was just really thin crust.
Domino's.
Sliced in 4 pieces.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's New York. Forget about it.
What about ice cream? You going for ice cream in the summer?
Ice cream chain?
In the middle of a heat wave, what's your like go-to ice cream snack?
Ice cream snack?
Yeah.
I don't want an ice cream snack in a heat wave.
No?
I was about to say meat wave.
Ooh, I love that band.
Me
Me too.
There you go. Posi Purge. You guys got stuff going.
Yeah, we did it.
Why don't you want ice cream when it's hot out?
Because it's going to melt all over me and be sticky.
Not if
It's going to get on my hands.
Wolf it down without brain freezing
You can get a
yourself.
blizzard, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ice cream.
Oh, I do like a good Dairy Queen Blizzard.
I
Blizzard?
love blizzards.
I like seeing them turn it upside down before they
Yeah.
hand it to me.
What
Like,
if
yeah,
it was
you
so
better.
hot that everyone they did that day just fucking... The guy's so pissed 'cause he's like, fuck.
I hope that happens. Somebody dumps out somebody's Frosty. Or...
And like
There's got to be a few like day one trainees like dumping the frost.
the AC goes out or something, and they're just like, God damn it. It's a day of full free blizzards.
Fuck, I grabbed somebody's Pepsi and just dumped it. I put it in the blizzard cup and tipped it upside down. I go for the drumsticks. That's my go-to ice cream.
Those are cool.
I like those. I
So
always had
you-
to eat them outside.
Oh, okay.
Are you talking about like where are you getting the stuff at
Either
this
one.
point? Like
At
ice
home.
cream truck or
Either one.
you still run out for the ice cream truck?
Just ice cream treat.
There are carts in Chicago. You hear
Yeah.
this bell jingling.
Yeah.
You know that the ice cream man
Is it
around.
fresh though? Because every time I go to one of those, I get like something that has like stale gumballs in it. Or
Yeah, I would imagine it's not very fresh.
yeah.
Yeah. Because that guy, you know, he's definitely working hard, covering a lot of ground, but like, you know, you can only sell so much ice cream as one person
Dude,
going door to door.
the M&M ice cream sandwich.
Yeah.
The M&M cookie ice cream sandwich.
Those are
Any
good.
kind of
If we're
ice cream
going that-
sandwich.
If we're going that route, whenever I came to Chain of Lakes as a kid,
Yeah.
they had that big cooler of ice cream snacks.
Yeah.
That was fucking my go-to. I'd wait a little bit to get a little warm, that M&M cookie on top, like sugar cookie with M&M's, ice cream in the middle.
Those are.
I like the, what is it? Like the Toll House. Comes in like a yellow
Oh, yeah, yeah.
package.
They've
It's
got
just like
one
a
too.
chocolate chip
Yeah.
cookie with
Those are good
ice
too.
cream. And then like your classic ice cream sandwich, like the long,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Fuck yeah.
There was a.
Strawberry shortcakes.
how it gets stuck on the roof of your mouth.
Yeah.
Like,
It's good.
There was like a birthday cake, like vanilla ice cream sandwich for a while, but I can't find it anymore. Those were awesome. What do you got, Ben? What else is positive? You have any?
Oh, dude, I feel way better already, though. Thank you, guys.
You guys go up to the dunes? So I usually take a dunes trip in the summer. Those are fun.
the dunes are great. We used to.
Yeah.
As a kind of a family thing that we used to do.
Do you go to Indiana or Warren? Because we used to go to the Indiana dunes, but the water was always closed because of the pollution or whatever. Warren in Michigan,
I think it was Warren.
that's the spot. That's
Yeah.
a lot nicer. And it's actually like weirdly closer to just go straight up instead of like crooked over above Gary.
yeah, it's not that far.
That's always a good time.
Yeah, man, climbing up those things and then running down,
It's like the closest you get to the ocean, being landlocked in Indiana.
or like Tatooine or something.
Right,
you
exactly.
know. As a kid, I was always trying
Yeah.
to find Tatooine. Ben?
man. Well, yeah, honored to have you on the show today. We've got Jeff Rosenstock.
Hi.
Probably one of the most prolific voices in punk for over a decade now. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for saying that. I don't know about that,
You don't
but
think
hello
so?
all the same.
Staying humble. I like it.
It's a great brand. For it.
So before you went out on your solo career, you had 10 years of Bomb the Music Industry and Arrogant Sons of Bitches before that.
Yes.
You were labeled kind of the internet age Fugazi. Where do you get your work ethic from? Like, what inspires you to be so morally driven?
I don't know. I think, like, first of all, like, I don't know where internet age Fugazi came from, but I appreciate it, but to me, they're like in a whole different league. Versus what I am doing, which is like, hey, I could put a PayPal link on a website and now you can have my album. Like, lower bar of effort there for me.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's just growing up, like bands like Fugazi, labels like Asian Man Records. That was like stuff that as I was like discovering punk and, just listening to a lot of music before I discovered punk and just loving music. Like when I saw all that stuff, I was like, oh, that resonated in a way that made me feel kind of less alone and just like how I felt about the world, for lack of a better way to put it. So like, it isn't even just like what's like the right thing to do. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like there's ways to do it that to me just feel kind of not exciting or that just don't resonate with me. That don't make me feel like, that makes it feel more like having a desk job versus just embracing the chaos of music and life and trying to do something fun and weird. So I think that is kind of where I've gotten it from, is just like trying to do some fun stuff with my friends, and like at any point along the way after like some time with my first band ASOB, like trying to mail our EP to labels and be like, hey, do you want to sign us? And like trying to like find opportunities in that way. And getting really burnt out doing that and really discouraged and kind of like distracted from what I liked about the band, which was playing music with my friends. After an amount of time doing that, and even while doing that, it was always just like, what can we do ourselves? What's something I could do myself? Can I do this? Can I put out a record? Can I book a show? Can I like record? Can I do this? What would it sound like? And I found like the more that I try to do those things, the more I learned and the more I realized like, oh yeah, I can do that. It's not that hard. Like I think I was immediately crushed when I was like 13 and like we recorded like this hardcore band that I was in with my friends when I was a child. Like we recorded with like a tape recorder, like an 8-track with like 2 mics, and it sounded like absolute dog shit. And like I submitted it to play like at this place where I was taking guitar lessons, had a rock fest at the church up the street from me. And I was like, we're going to play rock fest. And they were just like, this sounds like shit. And I think for a while I was like, oh, you need to like do things in a certain professional way. And like, you need to have somebody show you how to do it. And I think that as time went on and I started either not having the means to do that, or just like not wanting to do it, I was like, oh no, maybe I was just 13 and I put like the mic in front of the guitar amp and nothing else, and I thought it was going to sound like music, and also I didn't know how to play music yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think I took those failures hard early on, and like the more I distanced myself from like not being perfect when I was a 13-year-old,
right?
I think the more I like just like, oh yeah, anybody could do any of this.
Were you playing in bands 12, 13 years old?
This is like saying playing in bands is like very, that's a very strong way to put it. I wasn't playing in bands that were like going out and playing shows, but like, yeah, me and my friends were playing music together. Me and my brother would play music together from a young age, from a long age. And his friend, Isaac Burker, who ended up playing guitar in Long Island emo band Stray Light Run for like a little bit.
Gotcha.
But like, because we're all like Baldwin kids, but like, yeah, he was just a shredder. He was one of those kids that like when he was young, he listened to metal and he learned how to do it all, and that's what he did. And I think like, playing with somebody like that where I kind of sucked and didn't really know how to do anything, and my brother who like played drums fine, like we're all good enough as a 7th grader could be or whatever. But like, I like those kinds of things. You start somewhere. I don't know. I would think that everybody in a band started in like fake bands that they like made with their friends when they were in elementary school or junior high or something like that, you know?
For sure. Yeah. And it seems like, I mean, your music obviously covers a lot of heavy topics, but there's always this sense of optimism shining through on the other end. Did you ever reach a point where you're like, maybe this music thing isn't for me, or you've always just got to keep pushing and persevere?
Oh, I think I reach that point all the time.
Yeah.
I reach that point, like, you know, like twice a week on tour currently, like
Still?
anytime I like think I finish up a demo or get stuck and I'm just like, fuck this. Or anytime it's just like tired, I'm like, I'm so tired. What am I doing? But like, I don't know. I think for me, it just goes back to, it's like, what would I really be giving up? I don't really picture a life where I don't feel like compelled to make music. Like it isn't like about what the response is or what's on the other side. Like that's still just something that's within me. So it wouldn't be like I'm like, what would giving up be? Like I don't know how to put it, but it's not like even really optimism. It's just like, you know, maybe sure, I would think about giving up music as a career. I never even really like thought that was going to be it. I just wanted to live a life that like enabled me to keep making music because I liked it. And like I've broken up bands that I've been in, and then I just like kept writing songs. So it was like, okay, well then how do I make these songs something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think about giving up all the time. I've definitely like at points in my life like fantasized about what it would be like if like I just didn't give a shit about any of this stuff and I just only cared about basketball and loved going to my job at the advertising firm, but that just isn't how I'm wired, you know?
Right, for sure. Well, it's kind of that, going back to your first answer, it's more of the community aspect as opposed to fitting into just the business transactional model.
Yeah, for sure.
So what led to the decision to end Bomb the music industry after 10 years of a pretty strong following and going into your own solo career?
There's a few things. Matt Keegan, our trombone player, was moving to Australia.
Okay.
And our keyboard player, he was a really big part of after the band stopped being this kind of nebulous collective and became more of like a solid band of these people. Like I really couldn't picture it without Matt. And I didn't want to be a band that was like, it just kind of like played the back catalog as like interest withered away. That just didn't seem like it was in the mission statement of the band from the start. You know what I mean? And also like it had gone beyond what I had anticipated and what I really had wanted to do, which was just like, after ASOB, I was just like, I just want to play music with my friends. I want to be super chill. I want anybody to be able to come in, come out. We'll make everything ourselves. And we just want to have pressure on it. We'll all have jobs. We'll all work. It'll be fine. And then we'll do this for fun. And as people started getting excited about it, it was just kind of a thing where it was like, okay, well, it made me want to do more with it. And as more opportunities came up to tour at bands that like we grew up listening to, like the Slackers or Less Than Jake, it was like, okay, well, let's like tour, let's do it. And we're putting out records like, okay, let's tour, let's do it. And then you end up in this cycle, no matter how much you try to avoid it, once you start treating things in that regard. And I think that especially like at that time, it was just driving me insane. And Bomb wasn't really doing well it wasn't doing well enough that like that would be our only thing. And even if it could be the only thing, it was like, what is that? That's not what this was supposed to be. And I could see the stress coming up, and Matt was leaving, and like, I could see it becoming more work than fun. And before this becomes what it's not supposed to be, I think it's smart to just call it. And I wasn't really going to do anything after that. And like, I kind of thought I'd make music at home and I would put it out on the internet. And like, I would try and do graphic design jobs and stuff like that and try and like, okay, I was like sick. Looking back on it, like that was a cool way to spend my fucking 20s. Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's get a graphic design job. Let's like figure out how to like exist for the rest of my life, because the rest of my life is coming regardless of how destructive I've been and how I didn't think that was possible, you know? So yeah, I was just like, I'm not going to do it. And weirdly, my parents and my wife were all like, you're crazy. You shouldn't just like throw this away. And I was like, that's interesting coming from the three of them, because, you know, they were probably the people who would benefit most from me not having this weird lifestyle at all. Like my parents who wouldn't have to fucking worry about me anymore.
Right.
And my wife who would not have to be like, okay, well, at some point you're going to have to like, you need to have like, be like reliably bringing in rent money, dude. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I got some encouragement, which was nice. And then I just kind of kept doing it on a small level with John, who played bass and bomb, and my old college roommate, Tim. And it just kind of ended up turning into something crazy where it was like other opportunities came up and it was like, oh, fuck. Okay, let's see what happens from here, you know?
Gotcha. Right on. So USA Today named Worry their 2016 album of the year.
Yeah.
Has that been like the biggest critical praise you've gotten?
Sure. But that guy also, I think he was losing his job.
Oh.
And he knew he was losing his job and he was a fan. He was like, fuck it. I'm going to go out giving the USA Today's #1 record to Worry.
Gotcha. That was like the fuck you on the way out.
Yeah, I would say that's the biggest one. That's the craziest one.
Is that the record you're most proud of?
I'm proud of all of them, like for real. Like,
yeah,
I'm proud of them all for different reasons, and I know that's a bit of a cop out of an answer. I absolutely recognize that Worry is the one that's like resonated with people in a very specific and special and bigger way than a lot of the records. But like, I don't know. I feel like I can fucking hang my hat on all of them, and there's things about all those experiences that I'm really proud of. I don't look at it as like, that's when we were firing on all cylinders. Like, I think those things set us up to like, as a band, be like, okay, cool. How do we fucking beat that one? How do we fire on even more cylinders for the next one? But like,
yeah,
Worry was definitely like the first one where people started like taking what I was doing like seriously and what we were doing seriously in a different capacity. And I think that the USA Today thing and the Pitchfork review, like both of those things together, were like, these are fucking people who 3 years ago would not have acknowledged that me and my friends were making music, wouldn't have acknowledged anybody in our world except for like Hopalong, because Hopalong's incredible. I don't.
Well, I
don't
guess
know.
similarly, if you could pick like 4 songs to try and personify your musical career, do you have any go-tos that you think like, this is top of the resume stuff? This is where I really hit it out of the park?
Top of the resume stuff? I don't know. It's hard to, I could try off the top of my head, but I will fail. I'm really proud of Future 86, which was basically like the last ASOB song and the first Bomb the Music Industry song.
Mm-hmm.
I think I started approaching things differently while working on that song. Like, I think the song's good. I think it resonated with people. And also for me, it like taught me like, okay, well, it doesn't have to be loud and fast the entire time. And you don't have to do things in a configuration of like drums, bass, guitar the entire time.
Yeah.
That would be a standout one for me. I think fucking Scram, just because I feel it when we play it live. But also, I guess I don't know. Like, my answer is like, people like Scram. I think the way we play You in Weird Cities live, like the live version of You in Weird Cities, because like that has now become this like kind of improvisational, like vibey, almost like not experimental thing, but just this, and not like jammy thing necessarily, but something where we're trying to feel what the room is doing. Mm-hmm. And be a part of it and like try and like transcend what happens when a band gets bigger and, you know, there's a barricade between you and people just because that's how it has to be for safety and stuff like that. And I think the way we've approached that song and how it kind of grows, I think that is kind of a cool thing that I'd put up there. And I think I'd put Caring up there too, which is a song on 2020 Dump that I'm not really sure that many people know, but that was kind of like really I very rarely like pulling a song out of myself, like a very rarely like, hey, you're hurting, you need to sit down and write. I don't really do it that way, or not even you're hurting, you need to sit down and write, like how I say it, like at the top of that song, just like, you haven't been doing the thing you love to do because like you're doubting yourself about it. Like, get in there, kid, do it. And I'm really happy with how that song turned out. And I really like hearing Laura's voice on it. And I don't know. Those are my 4 answers. Future 86, the live version of Weird Cities, Scram, and Karen.
Very respectable. Very good.
I don't know if that makes a good set list, and there's no ska on there, and I'm sorry. Scram will count as ska also.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Well, we've seen country make kind of a resurgence this summer. Do you think there's room for a ska resurgence?
I mean, there's the ska resurgence has been happening.
Right. We've got Catbite. We've got Ska Tune Network, right?
Yeah, we got Bad Operation. Like, we play ska like every night live for a little bit, and it always goes off, and people are always psyched about it. I think the ska hate has honestly really dissipated to now people hate ska as much as any musical genre gets hated by any amount of people. Like, it doesn't feel like as much of a mark on your record to be playing ska anymore. A resurgence? I don't know. People gotta write more bangers. Catbite, I'm looking at you. More bangers. I know you're doing it. More bangers, Catbite. We need more.
Going back to Worry and the way that album is constructed with, a bunch of the songs bleeding into one another from track to track and this big comprehensive vision that the album has. Have you changed the way you go about writing an album or outlining a project over the years? Or what does your creative process look like when you're laying out a new project?
I think it always grows. I try and go at it the way that I did it last time. And then it works or it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, I have to adjust. And it always like kind of bleeds over from the last project. So it always kind of starts with like working on songs that were getting developed or that I was thinking about after, say, Hell Mode was written.
Okay.
But before it was recorded or before it was released. And it's like, I don't like sit down and go like, let's do it. Let's write some songs. Like, I kind of write songs slowly and continuously throughout life. And then every now and then, like, I'll try and catch them in like a demo kind of marathon session. That's kind of where I've been at these days. In the last few records, like from Post on, like I've gone away for a little bit, either to my friend Pete and Kara's place in the Catskills, or since I moved out here, I went to like this Airbnb in the middle of nowhere in Johnson Valley and just brought all my shit and just like banged out a couple of songs I had in my head, and then just kind of see how things fall into place after that. But like this one, like I haven't really gone away, and I've just been like squeezing it in through the gaps in tour, and I'm still trying to figure out like where it all fits in.
Yeah.
Which I guess is kind of a little bit more like, and not to say like this one's gonna be the next Worry, because that's not at all what I'm saying. I think it's crazy when bands say things like that, but like it is a little bit more in line with where I was at with Worry and bits of No Dream, where like a lot of it was written at home and written in between gaps of work and stuff like that. So I think it really just like, I think the one thing that I try, like the things I try to keep constant, which is just like try to be continuously writing, even if it's just jotting stuff down on your phone that you revisit later, and try to not put pressure on it and not really care too much if you have another record. Like, we're good, I feel like, too. Like, we have a lot of records out now. The set list is already a fucking hard thing to wrangle.
Yeah.
Like, we're good. And there's a lot of freedom and relief of pressure from that, from being like, I'm proud of what I've done so far, and I'm proud of what we've done as a band so far. And I don't really feel like I feel this pressure to keep making more music because I have to make more music in order to go on tour, in order to sell it or anything like that. So I try and keep it like that, which hopefully counteracts the part of it that like, as it grows, there's more people paying attention and there is more pressure to like, okay, well, are you going to do something that stacks up to this record? And like, that's a tricky thing to deal with, because once I fucking feel that, I'm like, well, fuck this, fuck you, Jeff, fuck off. Don't do anything,
Right.
So I think it's trying to ignore that stuff.
Well, you recently got a gig scoring for Craig of the Creek on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
How did that differ, I guess, from writing traditional pop songs to scoring an animated series?
It took a while for me to like understand that there's no verse and chorus.
Yeah.
Like, that was like a big thing, was just like I'd have to make these short pieces of music and then just be like, oh, and now it's done, or it's just like this amount, and then it just kind of like fades out, or you play a chord and that's it. That was a bit of an adjustment, but I think like once I dove into it, I fucking loved it. There was so much because that job's over now. That show got canceled because Monster CEO ate Cartoon Network and was like, fuck shows for kids. So that's bad. But yeah, once I'd gotten into it, it was just very cool. It was cool that like, instead of like trying to like say like, oh, well, hey, what's up? Here I am. What do I want to say today? Like, it didn't matter what I wanted to say. My job was to like convey the emotions that the characters were feeling and do a good job at that. Sometimes my job was to lay low and to make sure it doesn't poke out too much, but also like everybody on that show was like super fucking supportive when I wanted to put in blast beats and have it be very, very energetic and very, very loud, or like was like, hey, now it's like a rap song, and they're just like, that's sick that you put that in there. All right, cool. You know, it was chaos. Like, I had 11 minutes of an episode to do. I did it in an incredibly short amount of time because I was also in a touring band. So like, I didn't have the fucking full year to work on a season. I had like 6 months of a year to work on a season.
Right.
So it just very like, all right, embrace the chaos, ride the wave, just watch it, react, play something. Is that something? It doesn't matter. Make it something, make it feel good, feel shit, watch the show, feel shit, and feel that shit through your music, and let that be a part of it. And if you watch it back and you feel something, you did a good job. And if you watch it back and you don't feel something, you know, try and fix it, but also that's okay because it's not for every single moment of the show. Like, it was just cool to like work with emotion in that context where like it felt like working with like 80 or 100, if you count the animation studio. I can't even tell you how many people are working on this. Like, it felt cool to just be like one part in conveying this story, and it helped that the show is really, really funny, really well acted, really well made. Everybody on the crew was awesome, and it was just like, yeah, I just wanted to do a good job. So it was, again, a weird thing of like less pressure on me to like do the whole thing, but also like this big amount of pressure that I felt because this is a fucking globally televised show that a lot of really amazing people did a lot of incredible work on, and I don't want to fuck it up when I bring it in for the landing, you know?
Right. So did they give you a lot of creative license to just, you know, here's a blank canvas and we'll pare down what we need? Or it was like, we need a spooky theme, or we need, you know.
It's just like that. What happens was they'll give me the episode, no music.
Okay.
And I would watch it with Ben Levin, ska guy, also one of the creators of the show, but ska guy first and foremost. Ben. And we'd watch it. We'd talk about what the music should be like, where it should go, what everybody's feeling, what the vibe is. And then I would put that video file into Pro Tools. I learned how to manage the timeline so I could get my things to start the right way. But like, I just go.
Yeah.
I just like start playing, be like, okay, it starts here. Where does that take me? Where does this take me? I did originally try and do it that way, where it was like chunks, and it was like, here's where this theme goes, here's where this kind of theme goes. But I started finding more as like, don't send me the temp music, just send me the episode and let me just try and like vibe it. And then it was cool. And I tried to do things that I do on my records, like especially like We Cool Worry stuff, where it's like a lot of themes, like bookending the records. Like, I would try and think about like, okay, how do I have like musical themes and motifs bookending these episodes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then as the series went on, like, how do I have those motifs represent moments or represent characters, or how do I have these like this instrumentation represent like certain situations and stuff like that.
Awesome, man. Yeah.
It was fun. I miss it.
So yeah, you do a lot of stuff, obviously. DIY, do your own production, graphic design. What do you get more fulfillment from as a musician? Like playing a live show with your band or putting down a new album?
Oh, I don't know. Probably putting down a new album is a crazy one because like I'm stoked on it. I really playing live with the band, like when it's a good one, is like there's nothing like that, you know? And it feels the same way when we make a record and we're doing like, because the way we make our records is like the 5 of us get in a room and we play, and we record that. And then I do all my shit on top of it or whatever. But like for the most part, we get these raw takes, which is like 80% of the song.
Yeah.
And when that goes well, it's like, oh, that's cool. Like, especially the first days of like recording to tape with Jack, just like getting chills doing that.
Yeah.
But then also it's like doing demos at home, which is like an embarrassingly vain thing to say, but like it's very satisfying where after like, you know, sometimes like a year or something of like thinking of a song and having an idea in my head or whatever, putting the stuff down and like trying to arrange it and then playing it back, it is like, oh, there's the fucking thing that like I've been picturing for a while. Like it's there, cool. So they all have their different aspects to it, but like there's an energy to when like a show is going well and where there's like this fucking spiritual connection or whatever with the audience, just something that everybody's feeling in the room that just feels really good in a way that isn't really comparable to anything else. But like to compare that to an album where there are those moments, but also there's just like this pressure of like, did I do a good job? Did I do a good job? Did I do a good job?
Right.
Eventually I'm going to put this out and the world's going to fucking judge me. You know, there isn't as much of that aspect to playing a live show, because ultimately it's not everybody who's going to judge you. It's just like the 500 or 1,000 people or less who were there that day or whatever, you know?
Right, for sure. Well, yeah, we've got you right in between tours now. You're about to kick off another one with Chris Farron here.
Yeah.
Reading between the lines, does this mean there's any Antarctico Vespucci gears turning?
Oh, I mean, that has nothing to do with the tour. We're just friends. And
Yeah.
We're like, oh, yeah, let's do this one with Chris. But me and Chris are always, we've been having a thing that we call Spoochie Tuesdays, where we just get
nice.
together on Tuesdays and work on music. But, you know, much like how I was just talking about with my own stuff, I really don't try to approach any of these things with like a deadline or an end goal in mind. It's just like, what are we making? What fits together? Is it cool? And I think, you know, at some point it'll be something, or I don't know, or maybe we'll get stuck, and I don't know. I guess if we get stuck at this point, we have enough to put out an EP that feels slapped together. So I don't know. Maybe we would do that. I want to play more Antarctico Vespucci shows, though. It's a tricky thing to do now that like Gaslight's back in full action and Benny's on the other side of the country and me and Chris are out here.
Gotcha.
I was crazy busy with the movie and then Hell Mode shit, and it's just kind of been like a hectic time. But like Antarctico Vespucci is always simmering in the back of the two of our minds, that's for sure.
That's good to know. Good to know. Any possibility of busting out some tunes together on the tour?
Probably, yeah. I mean, we'll both be there.
Yeah.
I feel like when we play shows together, we'll always do like one
Yeah.
at least together, because it's like, why wouldn't we?
Right.
Because Kevin and John have been the band when Benny couldn't do it. It was like, all right, well, everyone's gonna be there. We could just do this, you know?
Makes sense. So you've been doing this for over half your life. What do you still have on your bucket list as a musician to accomplish?
One thing on my bucket list, which seems outlandish, is playing Red Rocks someday.
Yeah.
That seems like it would just be cool. I told somebody this. Somebody after a show in Denver like came up to me and was like, hey man, Denver loves you. And I like got a little bit open and vulnerable. I was like, thanks man. I'll tell you what, like honestly, it's a dream to like maybe someday we'll get to a point where we could play Red Rocks. And the guy was like, huh. I mean, yeah, maybe you could like open up for somebody there. like because bands drop off all the time because of weather. So maybe like if an opening band dropped off, like maybe you could hop in their spot. And I was like, thanks, man. So that's a goal that's up there. But like also like, I don't know, playing Brazil with this band would be cool. I really want to play Mexico.
Yeah.
But like we've accomplished a lot, and like we've worked past like the goals that I've had, which was just like I would have liked to play a show somewhere and for people to show up. Like that was kind of the goal, you know.
That was the starting point.
I mean, that wasn't the start. That was just it for me. I was like,
That was the finish line.
yeah, kind of. So everything else after was just like, oh, what? Fuck, shit. All right, cool. We'll play this fucking festival with Big Thief and Denzel Curry. All right, let's go, you know?
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, I appreciate it. Before we get you out of here, can we do some rapid fire either ors?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Best album of 1994, Dookie or the Blue Album?
I gotta go with Dookie.
Okay.
Hard choice, though.
Sonic or Mario?
Mario, but I have love for my Sonic people out there. Mario for me, though.
Reinventing Axl Rose or The Eternal Cowboy?
Eternal Cowboy.
Okay. Spider-Man or Batman?
Spider-Man.
Got a favorite Spider-Man? Is it Toby?
I like the new Spider-Man.
The Across the Spider-Verse guy?
Well, yeah, Miles Morales
Yeah.
would be my favorite, but if we're talking live action, I like the new ones.
Oh,
with,
Tom Holland.
Yes, Tom Holland. I think
Gotcha.
I really like that series of movies.
Seinfeld or Curb?
You know, Seinfeld is more ingrained in me, but I think I would go with Curb.
Okay. Less Than Jake or The Suicide Machines?
Suicide Machines, although I love Less Than Jake. Like, I feel like I modeled how I think about drums and ska guitar from that first Suicide Machines record, so I got to give it to him.
Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison?
Laura Stevenson is going to get mad at me about this answer if she ever hears this, but Happy Gilmore.
Nacho Cheese Doritos or Cool Ranch?
Cool Ranch.
Cool Ranch, okay.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Wayne's World or Spinal Tap?
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World, all right.
Sorry, I don't Although I don't feel like those two are comparable movies. I see why they are. I'm still going with Wayne's World. I wonder, do you ask the same questions to everybody?
Not all the time. That one came out of our March Madness tournament where we did like music-themed movies, and those were the final two standing.
Who won?
It was Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Spinal Tap is so iconic, but
Yeah.
like... I think just like as a movie, I'm watching Wayne's World.
Yeah. Is that your favorite like
know.
music-themed movie overall?
My favorite music-themed movie is the documentary Dig.
Okay.
Which if you haven't seen it, it's about Brian Jonestown Massacre and the Dandy Warhols, but it's just, he's like, you don't have to, I didn't know anything about the bands going into it.
Gotcha.
They're just two bands who are just fucked up the whole time and just ruining their careers the whole time. And it's basically like Spinal Tap if Spinal Tap was like two like hip indie bands trying to get signed by majors in the 90s and the 2000s.
Nice.
It is a fantastic movie. That's my favorite music movie.
Right on, man. Awesome, man.
It's ridiculous. I highly recommend seeing it if you have not.
Dig.
If you have not seen it, if anybody listening has not seen it, it is worth it. It's great. Dig. It's awesome.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, is there anything you want to leave us with before we get you out of here?
Craig of the Creek is maybe on. I don't know when this is airing, but if Craig of the Creek is on, watch it. Maybe they'll be like, hey, you're all hired again. And we put out Hell Mode. We're going on tour.
Yeah.
We're on tour. Look at our website. Look at Jeff Rosenstock on the things. It says the tour dates. Go to the shows. Got shows in Brooklyn. They'll keep going. If you live in New York, buy a ticket to this one, then there will be another one. We're just doing as many as we can.
How many straight Brooklyn shows do you have now?
We're up to 7 now.
7. Wow.
We're 7's getting close, and then we'll do 8. And I'm curious whether or not it's going to end with like a packed show, or if we're just gonna go over and there'll be like 50 people at the Warsaw, which just sounds very funny to me. So like either way, I'm good.
Right on, man. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you for talking to me. Thanks for wanting to have me on. This was nice.
Definitely, man. Thanks.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.
For more, visit internetkilledthevideostore.com.
All right. Bye.